Good evening, you're watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, our special focus is on the BJP. This on a day when the RSS and the VHP have showered praise on Narendra Modi, almost indicating their endorsement for his prime ministerial candidature. But there is a twist in the tale. While Narendra Modi, to a packed audience in Delhi, spoke about good governance being the mantra for politics in 2013 and certainly in 2014, in Allahabad at the Mahakumbh, the RSS was talking about a return to temple politics, dragging Ayodhya from the debris of history. On the program today, we'll be looking at how the BJP will manage these two pulls in opposite directions, or can they coexist? Before we look at a special report tonight, my colleague Rahul Srivastav is standing by in Allahabad. He's been tracking all the political developments, which is what the Kumbh seems to have become about. Now, Rahul, we saw 2 or 3 very interesting things happen in the last 24 hours. We saw Narendra Modi here in Delhi making a pitch for good governance, Suraj as he called it, and saying this essentially is what makes up for electoral victories, certainly his consecutive victories in Gujarat. But on the other hand, you have the RSS and the VHP showering praise on Modi, but pushing the party back to the politics of the 90s.
Yes, Barkha, it's perhaps what one was wondering at the end of the day today, that is it sheer coincidence, is it planned, or it is totally orchestrated? Somewhere all the political lines which were prevailing before this, there is tremendous amount of confusion. Narendra Modi, 600 kilometers away from Kumbh, is talking about something what we can term as reinvention of even, say, Narendra Modi. Then you have the Sangh Parivar here at Kumbh talking about a new political agenda. The political agenda which says that the BJP has to return to strident Hindutva, and even if it means that they have to lose some of their reliable allies till now, say the JDU or others, they will have to dump them, because the VHP and the RSS is feeling that that's the new course for the BJP. Then once the plot has been dictated by the RSS to the BJP, then comes the next blow. All this while, the BHP and the Sangh were saying that there is a bit of an argument over the fact that whether there should be some kind of anointment, whether the Sangh should openly come out and support one party, the BJP, or a leader. We find that one of the saints who was addressing the Dharm Sansad, he stands up and he backs Narendra Modi vocally. So what they have done is that they have backed Narendra Modi and they are asking that this is a political agenda. So the plot and the star cast has been dictated by Sangh affiliates, or has been declared from a Sangh-backed function. Now, eventually what one wonders is it that the BJP is okay with it, that both these lines will operate parallelly, or there is a bit of resentment? Top leaders, some of them are saying that they are not agreeing with it. One again wonders whether it's just because they are not happy with Modi, they don't want Modi to take over the party, or is it that they are seriously worried over the RSS, or is it once again that the BJP is speaking in multiple voices? But what one can certainly say is that if Sangam was a confluence of 3 rivers, 1/4 addition has been there, which can be called politics of Dharma. Earlier in the day, I had filed this report, and you can see that there is certainly worry for the BJP, because if it wants to reinvent itself, wants to present itself as a modern party which is seeking the vote of young voters, it will have to certainly do some serious rethink.
An image that captures the ideological duality of the BJP and the Sangh Parivar.
विकास यात्रा के मूल में अगर कोई गहराई से देखेगा तो एक बात पर बल दिया है, और वो है गुड गवर्नेंस.
In Delhi, the man widely believed to be the BJP's trump card for the next election, mindful of the young audience he was catering to, kept stressing that good governance is the mantra for political success.
मैं जब गुड गवर्नेंस की चर्चा करता हूं तो मैं अपने मॉडल की बात करता हूं, तो मैं कहता हूं P2G2, प्रो पीपल
good governance.
And at the Kumbh, a push by the Sangh Parivar for the party to return to the politics of the 90s, an attempt to drag Ayodhya from the debris of history.
बात आगे बढ़ेगी, हम जागृति पैदा करेंगे, तो जिनको मंदिर बनाना है, उनको वहां बैठने का अवसर मिलेगा, अथवा वहां जो बैठेंगे उनको मंदिर बनाना पड़ेगा, दो में से एक बात.
This is the BJP's current paradox. The Gujarat Chief Minister has tried to step out of the shadow of the 2002 riots by insisting that his repeated victories are to do with economic efficiency. But the man, still considered by his critics and even some BJP allies to be a hardline, contentious politician, finds himself on the other side of the ideological divide within the Sangh Parivar. His relations with the VHP in Gujarat have been strained, and even though he is a former pracharak, the RSS, looking to remote control the BJP from Nagpur, is said to treat him with wariness, for fear that they might not be able to control him in the future. But today, in the presence of the RSS chief from a VHP platform, a saint addressing the Dharma Sansad called for Modi to be the prime ministerial candidate for 2014. The RSS chief was quick to praise Modi, but added that it was for the BJP to choose its prime ministerial candidate.
चुनाव में किसको आना चाहिए, किसको लाना चाहिए, लेकिन आखिर हम लोग यहाँ जितना भी बोलेंगे तो भी ये जिनको करना है, उन्हीं का कर्तव्य है और उन्हीं का अधिकार.
The question is, will the Sangh Parivar then push Narendra Modi to embrace temple politics in exchange for this support?
अगर विश्व की
Modi's speech in Delhi stood out in direct contrast to the ones made by the party president Rajnath Singh in Allahabad.
कि हम लोगों को इतनी शक्ति दें, इतनी सामर्थ्य दें, ताकि आपकी ही मनोकामना नहीं, बल्कि करोड़ों करोड़ों राम भक्त, उनकी मनोकामना को हम पूरा करने में एक गिलहरी की कम से कम भूमिका निभा सकें.
विकास के बिना कोई चारा नहीं मित्रों. देश बर्बाद हुआ है वोट बैंक की राजनीति से.
So can the BJP of 2013 be similar to the BJP of 1992? The Ayodhya movement may have at one point in history catapulted the party from 2 seats to more than 180 in 1998. But with economic aspirations trumping all other ideological affinities in a post-liberalization India and in an age of coalition politics, the BJP's most successful chief ministers have been able to buck anti-incumbency essentially because they are seen to deliver on governance. Within the BJP, a section of the party led by L.K. Advani has tried to take on the might of the RSS, seen most recently in the ouster of Nitin Gadkari from the post of party president.
Many people believe your statement saying make him the prime ministerial candidate is actually queering the pitch because it's going to make the Sangh Parivar very, very uncomfortable. And your laughter gives away something.
Whichever way you
interpret it.
The point is, it could not be RSS which is behind my saying that Narendra Modi should become the Prime Minister. It is not Narendra Modi, it is nobody else. It is a personal opinion that I have expressed.
How the BJP tackles pressure from the RSS on reviving Hindutva politics could determine whether it can claim a role as a modern right-of-centre political party or remain identified as a Hindu nationalist one.
To be a modern right-of-the-centre political party, the BJP needs to reinvent itself. But that is going to be tough. After all, it was an emotive appeal, the Ram Temple movement of the 1990s, that brought the BJP to power for the first time in Delhi. The BJP's ideological master, the RSS, believes in dharma politics. Also, reinvention in Indian politics is tough. Samajwadi Party and the BSP cannot abandon the politics of Varna or caste. The DMK and the AIADMK have to stick to the constraints of Dravidian politics. The challenge before Indian politics is, how do they avoid the temptation of quick fix solutions? At the Kumbh with Sachin Gupta, Rahul Srivastava for NDTV.
All right, so can the BJP of 2013 and certainly the BJP of 2014 really also be the BJP of 1992? Will the RSS push for temple politics dent and interfere with Narendra Modi's pitch for good governance, or can the two in fact coexist? How the BJP tackles pressure from the Sangh may make the difference between whether it will be a modern centre-right party or a Hindu nationalist one. That's our debate on the Buck Stops here this evening. Let's introduce our panel. Joining us tonight, Ravi Shankar Prasad, senior leader of the BJP, deputy leader of the party in the Rajya Sabha. Joining us from Kolkata tonight, senior commentator and journalist Swapan Das Gupta. Joining us from Allahabad is Sir Mark Tully, somebody who documented what happened at Ayodhya and is one of our eminent voices and public intellectuals. Also joining us tonight is Meghnad Desai, economist and political commentator, and we'll also be joined shortly by Yogendra Yadav, psephologist and now a leader with Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party. Ravi Shankar Prasad, let me start with you. There seems to be something that's a bit confusing. Narendra Modi addressing a young, packed audience at the Shri Ram College of Commerce in Delhi says in unequivocal terms that he believes that the formula for the future is what he calls P2G2, people, power, good governance. If this indeed is Narendra Modi and the BJP's formula, why on a parallel track is the BJP's president and the BJP's ideological father, Mohan Bhagwat, talking about a return to temple politics?
Barka, I hope you will give me some time because you have asked a very loaded question. There is no disconnect. Today, India's growth has gone to 5%, the lowest in the last 10-11 years. And contrast this with the record of governance of Gujarat, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and others, where the average growth rate is 11%. We are proud of that. We have delivered. We delivered in Mr. Bajpayee regime. We will deliver if the people of the country bring us back to power. Because good governance, delivery, has been the motto of the BJP in terms of governance, which we have shown to the people of the country. And that remains our primary focus, along with the misdeeds of the UPA from inflation to corruption and India's growth story almost coming to a knot. Now, coming to the other issue which your correspondents have highlighted, don't forget Kumbh happens in every 12 years. It is not determined by any particular lecture or election program. In Kumbh, a very pious congregation of almost millions and billions of Hindus, there are issues raised, including of saints go there. They articulate. And when you talk of Ayodhya Barkha, please don't forget one very important fact. Today there is a proper verdict of the Allahabad High Court holding two things. Babri Masjid has, Muslims have failed to prove existence of Babri Masjid. And where Ram Lalla is Virajman is the place where the Hindu believe he was born. And this is based upon nearly 10,000 pages of evidence and about 1,000 pages of judgment, 8,000 pages of judgment. Now, yes, even in the NDA, we have a clear mandate. The decision on Ayodhya must be either by a court verdict or by consensus. And we cannot run away from the hard fact that millions of Hindus world over, including India, and many Muslims also want that a proper Bhavya temple must be constructed.
Okay.
If that is being raked about to say that we are going to the medieval ages, or the BJP is losing all its moorings, Hindu nationalism is archaic and conservative, I'm sorry, those sweeping generalizations are not fair.
So, Ravi Shankar Prasad,
yes, BJP
is the short summary of what you've said that good governance and temple politics can coexist, that to go back to the 90s is not to go back to a medieval age?
Obviously not, Barkha, because try to understand one thing, Barkha. Yes, BJP in the year 89 in Palanpur took a call. It is a part of our resolution that a Bhavya Ram temple should be constructed. But we don't make it an election issue every time. Today you have occasion to reflect upon it because Kumbh is happening simultaneously, which is not a BJP's program. It happens after every 12 years where saints from world over congregate. Well, they have raised an issue, but the political call on the whole thing shall be taken by the BJP, number one, as to who shall be the Prime Minister. And as far as the NDA is concerned, just to remind you, even the NDA agenda of governance, it was very much there. As Ram Temple is concerned, must be made either by judicial verdict or by consensus. We will wish for a good consensus, and I'm sure in the light of the judgment, because the matter in the Supreme Court, I'm sure we'll win there as well. But there one loses and one wins. But as far as if we are able to do it by consensus, and I'm sure I can tell you large number of Muslims also feel for the sake of Hindu sentiment at Ayodhya, a pious place for Hindus, for Lord Ram, we need to be accommodative.
Okay.
I'm sure we can find a way out.
Okay.
But I take a strong offense, I'm sorry to say that, calling is archaic, medieval. Please, don't use those expressions.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.